Well, I'm here right now. I know quite a bit. What would you like to know? Because when people want to do research, usually there's other issues. But what you're trying to do, you're trying to eliminate the I really want to research. You know, some people maybe really want to do it, but some people don't. They might say, oh, you know, I want to do my own research. Is this something that I do on my own? And then you can say, oh, I want you to do your own research. What does that do? If they say, I just, you know, honestly, I'm a researcher. I want to do my own research. And you say, oh, I want you to do your own research. What does that do?
You're on their side.
Makes them on their side. No problem. Go ahead. I want you to do it. It's less confrontational. You're on their side. So I'm sure you want more information, not less, right? What's the answer to that?
Yes.
Right? 100% of the time. So you're asking questions you already know the answer to. You're more strategic, right? How are you going to go to do the research? Why would you want to know that? What do you think? Let me ask you this. If someone said they want to research, what's probably the most popular way they want to do it?
Online.
Online. It's going to be either online or I have a friend. And that's a whole different module. If I have a CPA or whatever, go through are they licensed, and that's a whole different thing. But you start to see where most people, they're going to have the common responses, and we have the answers to it.
Right.
Don't you think it'd be a lot easier if you already knew the answers to what's going to come? I mean, that's a lot easier, right? By far. And let's say, oh, you know what, I just, you know, I'm sure you're busy. You know, I don't want to spend any time. Oh, no problem, I still have an half hour. Why don't we start now? You're just blocking. So you remember, I don't know, some of you guys are here. Remember I talked about a couple weeks back where when you're in an appointment or in a membership interview, you're fighting their mind, not them, right? And so you take this, and when you're fighting, don't take it personal like you're trying to push them. Just understand they don't know. They don't know any better. And their mind is taking control, and you and the mind are going back and forth, and they're just like not knowing what the heck is going on. So that's the way I want you to look at it, so you don't feel like, oh, I'm pushing that. But we know why we're fighting. We know why we need to help them out. So a lot of people, I want to research, and let's say you get to the point where you can actually help them research, and you're going through, or they talk about research, but one of the things is, well, what are they comparing it to? If you want to research, you technically want to compare it to something, right? And that's really one of the issues. But having these in your tool belt is going to help you tremendously, right? Could you imagine if you had all these memorized, you already knew it? Would that elevate your game?
Oh,
This is just one. And I'm telling you, in appointments, you don't get all these plethora of different, but it's usually the same ones all the time.
Yeah.
Right. This is about it. Really about it. So when people say they want to research something, they usually are blowing me off. Are you doing that to me right now? So when you say something like this, you have to have a big smile.
Yeah.
Hey, usually people, they want to research. They're usually blowing me off. Is that what you're doing right now? See how I did that? You can't say, when people want to do research, they're usually blowing me off. Is that what we're doing right now? Very bad negative. You smile. It's almost like you're joking. But what does that do?
Makes them
Check.
comfortable.
Eliminates the fact you're not blowing me off. Thank you. We got that out of the way. So a lot of times, I want to do my own research, and now it's pretty much putting the self-talk that you want into their mind instead of having their own self-talk. Which, hey, I find it's easy to look for the negative and ignore the positives. Our brains are wired that way, and this is why news focuses on negatives, and it's how we are wired. When you look on the internet, what do you think you're naturally going to look for? What do you think they're going to say? Negative, right. So it makes sense to have a knowledgeable person help you research, right? What are they going to say to that?
Right.
Yes. So you're asking questions, you're directing it. You are in the driver's seat, not them. You're directing it to where if it's going to come down to we need to do some research, well, this is why I need to help you. Because they might say, I like to do things on my own. But we say this. So this is a staple This is something that you just need to have in your tool belt, these two phrases right here. Because this also applies in membership interviews. Anytime, our system, everything is set up to where they already showed their cards. They already see value. This is why they came back in 24, 48 hours. They already see value because this is why they scheduled the LFS2. They already show their cards. They see the value. Now you're making sure they confirm it. So I say, hey, let me ask you. So the reason why you would ask this is anytime they already seen the value, but they're showing something different. They're contradicting. I like it, but then I don't like it. They say, hey, let me ask you something. Did you see value in what we went through? What do you think they're going to say? Yes. Did you see some ways that might help you? What do you think they're going to say? Yes. Got that out of the way. Now let's get down to the work, right? Okay, maybe is it just you just don't trust me? This is my favorite. I hope on like appointments that I can get to this level. This is like my third level. This is always my third level, no matter what. I have my first and second level, but I'm just like, what could it be? Is it that you just don't trust me? What do you think they say 100% of the time? Oh man, I feel like we built a relationship, and I really like you, and that would have broke my heart. Oh no, okay, thank goodness, got that out of the way. So this is like an LFS2. So you bring in literature, brochure, annuals, all this stuff, all the information on the company, and there's stuff. I still need to do research. Okay, well, yeah, I brought you literature and information. So are you wondering if it's inaccurate? Oh no, I'm sure it's accurate. Oh, okay. So then it's a trust issue. Like that's accurate. Then maybe you just don't trust me. So with what I've gone through, what made you feel the distrust? Who's controlling the whole conversation? You are. Yeah. You always want to be in control. Because you got to understand, we're not pressuring people to do anything. And this is where people get mixed up. Oh, this is pressuring them. No, their family's on the line. And their mind, they're not thinking properly. They've been conditioned a certain way. They don't see the things that you can see. And you need to have these types of tools to help them and work them through the process to ensure that they can see it. And you're pretty much eliminating their excuses along the way. They're saying, oh, that makes sense. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, that makes sense. To the point where their mind says, okay, that makes sense. Let's move forward. And you're helping them. This is really helping people.
Yeah.
You have no idea. This is helping people more. This is like where you really get paid. You go on an appointment, you close a deal, none of this, you didn't really get paid for what you did. This is what we're trained to do, is help them not get in front of themselves. Because this is why people don't succeed. This is why people don't do things and protect themselves and prepare themselves for the future, is because they constantly get in front of themselves to be able to do that. You, as a professional, is going to help them separate themselves from them and start making the right decisions for the first time in life. Now, you're going to go through different modules. You're going to go through different things, and it just kind of depends. There's different layers. The first layer, are you researchers? Second layer, you might say something. Third layer, you might get to the trust. At a certain point, what happens is this. After maybe like the third time, you might feel like you're continuing to push. Okay? You might actually start feeling like that. They're like, oh, okay, I already told you three times, 3 excuses you eliminated. Now you're going to ask me again on the 4th time. Well, what makes it easy to be able to continue to push and transition are little transition statements, right? So here's one of them. I don't want to beat a dead horse or make you feel like I have a problem. I'm just trying to understand. And then boom, ask another question. So this is going to help you push for another question without seeming so pushy. Look, man, I really don't want to be a dead horse, and I don't want you to feel like I'm pressuring you, and I'm just really trying to understand. Is it maybe because this, and this, or why are you after, you start allowing to ask another question. There's another one. I don't want you to feel like I'm being pushy. I really want to help you guys. I'm just trying to understand the question. So it's just another, once you get to about 2-3 layers of trying to help them, this allows you to kind of calm everything down and then continue forward. And the reality is, most of these appointments you won't go that deep. But it's kind of cool to be able to have that skill set. And it's kind of cool for you to be able to do it. The trainee sees like, wow. That's what fighting looks like. It's just a concern and trying to understand and to help them see it. It's not like a fight, right? And there's a lot, it's interesting, I've been in a lot of different appointments. I think I was one with Aaron where they loved it, LFS2, great. I couldn't figure out, why are they like acting weird now? And it's just because they smoke marijuana. They thought they were I'm like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Do you smoke pot? Yeah. Oh, are you worried that you might get a bird? Oh, yeah. Oh, not nothing. I'm a smoker. I'm fine with smoking. Remember, he was acting like, I was like, what is going on? It's not that, it's not that, so they have the money. They were just freaked out because they smoke weed immediately. Are you okay? No worries, it's not a big deal. So it was because of what Rick taught me sometimes that, and I was like, it just clicked. You smoke pot? Yeah. So it's not okay. All right, so final thing I'm going to go over. There's other things it could be. It could be the trainee. Maybe they feel uncomfortable disclosing that. So one of the things I do in my base is when I say this, what I'm about to show you, I don't care what the client says, yes or no. Just get up. Oh, no worries, I can go. Just get out. Get out of the house. Right? Oh, what happened? Oh. Anyone give up? All right. So now you've gone through multiple things. You're like, okay, what is it? Maybe it's the trainee. Let me ask you something. Did you see value in what we went through? That you're going to go through the same thing. That's a statement. It's a statement. So what happens a lot of times, it's very common. So you want to say it's very common. Why do you say that? It's not. It's normalizing. They're not the only. Oh, no worries. It's very common. You know, for somebody to be uncomfortable with a friend knowing their financial information, is that what it is? Sometimes they want to say yes, but sometimes they'll say no because they don't want to say it in front of the agent. That's why I just say, hey, you know what? The minute I say, is that what it is? Just get up, say, oh, no worries, and they walk out. And then they can just open up. And then you say, oh, no problem. So you excuse the agent's already left. And you say, hey, the great thing is at the office we have a mock training program where we can kind of go through and teach John how to build a plan without using your number. So he'll never know. It's fully confidential. How do you think they feel? But if that's still not it, then another transition and okay, what is it? We went through what is it? You just don't like it, right? That's right. Now, so those are very simple ones. Let me ask you something. Everybody in this room, do you feel like you can learn that? Yeah. You totally could, right? Could you imagine if you knew that for most of the common objections or whatever that they say, could you imagine how much better you could be out in the field? Of course, right? So who's responsible for that? You're in total control. You go out, practice, and do it. So we're going to be doing a lot of these things going into training. We're going to have classes that's going to implement all this stuff. But if you're a field trainer, we need to get you at a higher level. If you're trying to get into field training, we need to get you to that point. But we got to grow, guys. It's time to move. We got to move everybody up. We have some huge goals to hit in 2018, and it's going to start with you guys, and it's going to start with the new people coming in, but we can totally make it happen. So, was that helpful?
Yes.
Did that give you a little bit more confidence? Like, your personality doesn't play a role. Anybody can do it. You can totally do it. Right, Don?
Absolutely.
I always like to use Don because he's like the introvert, right? But he has so much courage. I'm like, some people, I meet with them. They're like, oh, I don't know if I could do that. I'm such an introvert. I say, you met Don? And I always read, hey, Don. He says he's an introvert. Don goes through his whole spiel. Now you feel better? Okay. I love it. All right, let's go through training appointments. Sherry had one. David, who else? Ian. Anybody else? Oh, we're talking about Miguel? Okay, training. All right, so we got to keep it short and simple, guys. So this is the thing. Who is your field trainer? We don't need a whole story, this what happened, and all we need is 3 very, 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 very simple things. Very simple. Alright? Who is your field trainer? And 3 things that you really learned that you're going to implement and take with you. start down here and then go all the way down.
I'm Shalonda. My field trainer was DeAndre. It was my 10th appointment. What did you say? What
Three things that you really saw value and that you're gonna implement or you're hoping to utilize when you're out on the field.
Okay, all of the above. I learned and what I saw value in is the way DeAndre is relatable to a client, the way he gets them to divulge more information without being pushy or feeling like he has his own personal agenda. That was dope. I like the difference, I'm losing my words. I like how he makes it understandable for the client. There's a lot of terms they didn't understand, they weren't familiar with, and the way he breaks it down, the analogies that he uses,
Right.
makes them, oh, okay, so there's a few times I saw light bulbs go on with him. I thought that was really dope. And the way he does the presentation, just with his personality, there was a lot of times, it was all on Zoom, because I don't know anybody here, there was a lot of times where they were leaning up and looking more, trying to really see the information that we were presenting. So that's something that I saw a lot of value into, with just how you present the information to keep them engaged. So I thought the whole appointment was dope, and we have a LFS2 set up.
Awesome.
I'm John. I had a friend, known him since high school.
Who's your trainer?
Mike brought Don with me. He used to work for the IRS. He majored in finance, and he works for the Treasury Department now. And he told me, term and that's the rest. That's what he wanted to do. Doesn't want to talk about it, but I talked him into letting me at least do the presentation. And Don talked to him, and his retirement. He's out planned for almost everything, but maybe we can help him with not losing money in stocks and life insurance. He has term.
What are
But
3 things that you saw value in that you want to implement as you go out on your own, and things that you saw value in? 3 things.
It opened his eyes. He actually saw stuff that he didn't realize that was out there. Thought he knew everything. He's, started off like this and started getting value that he has cancer in his family. Not in his father stuff. So I see that we can help him with that part of compensation if something happens to him.
Okay, living benefits.
Yeah, stuff like that. And then peace of mind with stocks, not losing money.
Awesome, very good. Ian.
All right, my training appointment, I had Priscilla come with me. With this couple, it was interesting because they went to ASU. They went to U of A. I went to ASU. She went to ASU, so I thought there might be a problem, but she was able to relate with them because she's from Tucson. So that was good, just finding a way around that. She was able to build great trust by educating them. So as they were learning about things they didn't know, they got closer, and that worked out well for them. And then checking at the end, one thing that she said that I want to use when I go on my training appointments is, well, what was your favorite thing about what we talked about? And so then they were able to start telling us, what they really like. And with this particular couple, I hadn't talked to them in 6 years before I made this appointment. And it was really great because they were excited, for one, to hear from me. They were excited to help me out. They were even more excited because they wanted to talk to someone about this but didn't know how. And they're going to do an LFS2 today. 6 years?
See what? What is the most common thing I hear people say before they make a phone call?
Oh,
Who cares? Do they know you? You gotta understand, it's all in your head. Just take the action call, say the script, see what happens. That's all you can do. Good job, Ian.
Justin, my trainer was Miguel Clark. We did a LSF1, it was my first one.
LFS.
LSF1.
LF. Great. There you go.
LF.
Yeah, there you go. A lot of people do that. Don't worry. I
So
wanted to make sure you do it.
it was my first one with someone really close to me, and we had to do it over Skype because they live in Montana. So right off the bat, probably about an hour, we had trouble with Skype, so we had to keep taking care of it, stop it. The couple on the other end was very patient. Miguel was also very patient. As much as I was like thinking that we were gonna have to reschedule, he kept pushing onto him, hey, can you hear me, can you hear me, can you hear me, for about an hour. So he was very resilient. Also, there was a lot of moments where they got really uncomfortable with giving more information, and they did the whole thing with me research, so he came back with some questions and got him to move forward with it. But it was mainly just his patience, his resistance, and he took it forward, and he really cleared up the area.
You fought?
Yeah, he fought for it.
That's
and it was
awesome.
good. And so they kind of did it.
Very good.
My field trainer was Damon, and this was like my 8th appointment. And one thing I learned was remaining, just like his situation, it was hard with Zoom calls. It was just poor connection and whatnot. And he remained really calm, and it took almost 45 minutes to figure it out. So it took time. He became composed the whole time and really showed the appreciation for them sticking me out through it because they were definitely getting frustrated. He definitely took more time to connect with them and break that barrier down a little bit more because it was up a little bit more, obviously. And just fighting, you know, it took a little bit at the end just to break it down again, and he really took the time out to make sure they understood everything and actually collected information, so it was good.
Very good.
I'm David, Matt is my trainer. Had 3 incredible appointments this week. One was an LFS2, where I got to see Matt really show his fight for the couple. They needed this, and give them hope because she didn't have any hope of any insurance because of her health issues. I mean, and we walked out of there. I felt as though like how they go is going to make a difference for me. So I really felt great about that fight. Saw it. I feel the passion. That's why I came. The second one was with my daughter and her husband, and I learned some things that I didn't know. But what he taught about today, the objections, you know, because I saw that. I saw it. It reminded me of some of the training I had. You know, he who asks why first wins. You stay in control by it. He didn't ask the why questions. He had a different way of asking the question that sounded good, had them answer to him. Get them out of their head and then teach them what to think. You know, not that, but you know, it's great.
Yeah.
I had to learn this because it's really unique. And the third did it smoothly. The third went to my brother. He knew a lot. I thought it was really incredible how he easily saw everything that was going on. But what I learned mostly about the whole appointment is that he exposed I'm the limiter of my own thoughts and my own actions. I have a network that's just going to blow up if I use it. I stop thinking so hard and just do it. So those are 3 things.
So, yeah, go ahead.
So my field trainer was Daniel. I had my parents come in, and it was just interesting to see how everything flowed so easily, and it really got my parents thinking about the future and helping them retire. And so I thought that was really cool just to see how everything worked and just getting an idea of it.
What are 3 things that you really liked that you saw?
I liked how they get examples, lots of examples, just to, you know, so they can picture themselves going through the same like financial issues and seeing how much they can save. What else? I like that he tried to relate to my parents a lot, and he just really made them feel comfortable.
Awesome. Very good. So we have Sherry here. She's finally out on her own. What all of you guys are striving to do is go through your 10 and you get to the point where you feel comfortable. Well, you can do more than 10, you surely can, but when you get to the point where you're out on your own, and she was the first time.
Oh,
Were you a little bit nervous?
I was a little bit.
I told her not to be nervous, so I did. So how did it go?
Okay, so my appointment was a good friend of mine from college. A lot of the reasons why I was nervous is because he is a big researcher, like we talked about. But I felt like one of the greatest things about this and why I wasn't nervous is because of the training that I've been getting. I like to think of it as like a 6-month-long pregame that I've been going through. But should be faster, you guys. But so with the training that I was able to get from Matt and Priscilla and my whole team, basically, I came into this pretty confident, especially in my own skills, because of the confidence that they have instilled in me through the very little details that they've taught me. So asking questions, like he said, being sincere and doing this with integrity. If you do this and you do it the right way, there's no reason why you should go into an appointment feeling scared, because you have the skills, you have the knowledge, and the presentation and the script, it basically speaks for itself.
Right.
So someone who knew me for about 8-9 years sees me as a teacher and then all of a sudden is doing this industry. I asked him, I was like, hey, so any feedback? You seem like you know exactly what you're talking about. You seem like you've been doing this for a long time. Oh yeah, right? It's totally fine. But that is what I liked about it, is that I was able to go through this, see myself do it. Now I'm just kind of in pain right now because I want to get those reps in, and I'm just going to go through that by getting more appointments. So anyone can do it. It's totally fine.
Very good. Very good. That is the most exciting part when you're out on your own. You guys need to get out on your own. That's what it really happens. But awesome. Great training, guys. Let's get it going. Let's check out Tuesday. Let's do one for the show.
OFS Arizona.
Can you just send me a picture of, you said you had a picture of your test?
Yeah.
That's all.